Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. For decades they stood as the superpowers of South America. Brazil's yellow jersey was the symbol of talent, joy, and 5 World Cup titles. But on one famous night on their very own home soil, the world of football was turned completely upside down. That night was more than just a victory, it was the culmination of a decade-long struggle. It was a struggle marked by heartbreak, by coming agonizingly close to victory only to fall short, and by a rivalry that defined an entire continent. But to understand how we arrived at this point, how one team finally wrested the crown from its eternal rival, we must rewind the clock a little. The story of this decade did not begin in a vacuum. It was built upon a glorious history of Pelé versus Maradona, World Cup rivalries, and the battle for continental supremacy. Today, while Brazil boasts more World Cup titles, Argentina holds the edge in Copa América trophies. Thus, the debate over which nation historically holds the upper hand remains a perpetual one. However, by the mid-2010s, both superpowers found themselves in trouble. Brazil was still attempting to recover from the national trauma of a humiliating 7-1 defeat to Germany in the World Cup semifinals on home soil. Argentina, on the other hand, was mired in a painful streak of defeats in major finals. They lost the 2014 World Cup final, followed by back-to-back Copa América final defeats in 2015 and 2016. For Lionel Messi, widely regarded as the greatest player of all time, his national history appeared to be one filled with failure. In the early matches of this decade-long era, Brazil's resurgence was unmistakable. In late 2016, during a crucial qualifier for the 2018 World Cup, Brazil routed Argentina 3-0. It was a powerful statement. Led by Neymar, Brazil appeared confident and ready to reclaim their lost glory. Even in a 2018 friendly match, they secured a 1-0 victory courtesy of a last-minute header. At that juncture, it seemed as though Brazil held every possible advantage in their encounters against Argentina. The matches were often fierce and intense, frequently decided by a single goal, yet the tide of victory clearly favored the Seleção Brazil. For Argentina, questions were beginning to mount. Despite possessing some of the world's finest players, they appeared weak and disjointed as a team. The first half of this decade-long drama was a period dominated by Brazilian supremacy. But now, in the most dramatic fashion imaginable, the tables were about to turn. To truly grasp the anguish behind Argentina's resurgence, one must look back to the 2019 Copa América, hosted in Brazil. The tournament presented a golden opportunity for the hosts to cement their dominance. For Argentina, it was yet another chance to reclaim their lost pride. Both teams battled their way through to a thrilling semifinal clash. The atmosphere was electric from the moment the opening whistle blew. The match became a nail-biting affair, a true super classico. It was Brazil who struck first. A moment of pure magic from captain Dani Alves created an opening for Roberto Firmino, who squared the ball to Gabriel Jesus. The forward made no mistake, calmly slotting it into the net. Brazil took a 1-0 lead, but Argentina hit back. Sergio Aguero rose to meet a cross, only to see his header crash against the crossbar. Then came the controversy. Messi, in his signature style, was brought down while attempting to evade a challenge. Argentina appealed vociferously for a penalty. The referee waved away their claims, and VAR did not intervene. Mere seconds later, Brazil launched a blistering counter-attack. Gabriel Jesus, the opening goalscorer, surged across the pitch to set up Roberto Firmino for the finish. 2-0, game over. Argentina was seething with rage. They felt they had been unjustly treated. Typically mild-mannered, Lionel Messi vented his frustration at the referees and CONMEBOL following the match, leveling accusations of corruption and bias in favor of the hosts. This outburst of anger resulted in his suspension, but it also ignited a new flame. This was not merely a player complaining about a defeat. The captain had taken a firm stand for his team. Brazil won the Copa América by defeating Argentina at the most critical juncture. They became the champions of South America. At that stage, all debates had been settled. Brazil stood at the pinnacle, while for Argentina, there remained only heartbreak and a profound sense of injustice. 2 years later, the stage was set for the biggest match of all, the 2021 Copa América final. Despite a 1-year delay and a relocation to Brazil, the narrative was unfolding perfectly. Under the calm leadership of Lionel Scaloni, Argentina had forged a true team. They were a cohesive unit, a brotherhood bound together by the anguish of 2019. As both the hosts and the defending champions, Brazil entered the match as the favorites to win. The final was held at the iconic Maracanã Stadium, a venue where expectations for a Brazilian victory ran exceptionally high. The match itself was not a beautiful spectacle, it was a grueling battle. Characterized by 41 fouls and the issuance of 9 yellow cards, it was a contest of courage rather than pure skill. Then, in the 22nd minute came the moment that changed everything. Rodrigo de Paul delivered a long, searching pass from his own half. Brazilian defender Renan Lodi failed to control it cleanly, sprinting swiftly toward the ball. Angel Di Maria, a veteran of that Argentine generation that had lost so many finals, displayed extraordinary presence of mind. His exquisite chip shot floated through the air and nestled directly into the net. Argentina took a 1-0 lead. The remainder of the match was fraught with tension. Brazil threw everything they had into securing a victory. Neymar deployed every trick in his repertoire, but the Argentine defense, marshaled by the towering Nicolas Otamendi and the heroic goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, stood resolute. They fought tooth and nail for every ball. As the final whistle blew, a flood of emotion washed over the stadium. Lionel Messi sank to his knees and burst into tears. After spending a long career shouldering the weight of his nation's expectations and having lost 4 previous finals, he had finally won a major title for Argentina. His teammates swarmed around him, tossing him high into the air in celebration. He hadn't merely won the Copa América, he had won it against Brazil, at the Maracanã Stadium. It was Argentina's first major trophy in 28 years. That night at the Maracanã was not an end, it was the beginning of something truly special. The reigning champions, Argentina, began playing with a newfound confidence they hadn't displayed in years. They no longer feared even their own shadows. This newfound confidence was unmistakable. In November 2023, they returned to the Maracanã for a World Cup qualifying match. After the kickoff was delayed due to violent clashes in the stands, Argentina once again silenced the stadium. A powerful header from Nicolas Otamendi sealed a 1-0 victory, handing Brazil their first ever home defeat in the history of World Cup qualifiers. The significance of that victory was immense, but the most compelling proof of this shift in power had come a year earlier, building upon the confidence gained from their Copa América triumph. Argentina went on to win the 2022 FIFA World Cup as well. The bedrock of that squad consisted of the very players who, that night at the Maracanã, had risked everything for the honor of wearing their national jersey. That victory in 2021 was the spark that turned the dream of winning the World Cup into reality. Since that heartbreaking defeat in 2019, Argentina has not lost a single match against Brazil, neither in official competitions nor in friendlies. They have won 3 and drawn 1. So which team truly dominated the last decade? Looking at the statistics, the story seems somewhat fragmented. In the first half of the decade, the scales clearly tipped in Brazil's favor, a fact evidenced by their 2019 Copa América title. They were a formidable force and appeared to hold a psychological edge as well. However, dominance is not proven merely by winning friendly matches or early-stage qualifiers. True dominance is demonstrated by winning those moments that define an entire era. And when it mattered most, Argentina showed their mettle. They won the biggest match of the decade, a final against their fiercest rival, played on their opponent's most hallowed ground. That victory did not merely bring them a trophy, it shattered a psychological barrier and paved their way to the World Cup. What followed was a historic, record-breaking triumph on Brazilian soil. While Brazil's history is steeped in glory, there is simply no debate regarding the last decade. Brazil may have won a battle in 2019, but Argentina won the entire war. They claimed the ultimate prize, seized the biggest moments as their own, and concluded the decade not merely as the kings of South America, but as world champions. This debate will likely rage on forever, but the story of this particular chapter has already been written. So in your opinion, who will reign supreme over the next decade? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the very best in football news.